If you're not careful, Christmas will be ruined. Santa can't help, magical elves can't build us a solution, because buy now, pay later has exploded in popularity and it's available pretty much everywhere. This tactic will steal your money, increase your stress, and ruin Christmas. Let's talk about why that's true and what to do differently, thereby saving the holidays and the months to follow. Here's the funny thing, to do some research on this topic, I actually took a different angle. I looked at buy now, pay later services like Affirm, Klarna, and others offered by retailers from a business perspective, not from a consumer perspective. The motivation for someone selling things to allow buy now, pay later is huge, because people buy more when they can procrastinate the payments. It's extra dubious and tempting because one's like the latest offer from Target, where they partnered with this company called Sezzle. They break the cost of your purchase into 4 payments spread out over 6 weeks with 0 interest until after that period is done. So it seems like, oh, I've got more time, and 0 interest is really appealing. I'll just go ahead and pay that off. But what's gonna happen is this will lure thousands of people into using this service. But we have to ask ourselves this logical question. If Sezzle or Target or any of these other retailers were gonna do anything but make tons more money by playing with our psychology, they wouldn't even offer this. It's a profit game for them, and we're the ones that make them win. Let's talk about why this kind of thing costs us more money than we planned and fills the stockings of retailers and buy now, pay later companies with loads of cash. First of all, on average, people spend 45% more with buy now, pay later than when they're not using buy now, pay later. That's a ton. I was shocked to read that statistic. That is so much more than I expected. I thought maybe it would be like 10% more, 20% more. But the fact that we're buying almost half again more just because it feels a little bit easier is incredible. Think about that from the eyes of the retailer or someone selling stuff. Would you like to flip a switch and have people buy 45% more stuff? 45% more money? That's insane. Number 2, 14% of people who didn't plan on buying anything end up buying something and using buy now, pay later. It pushes them over that edge. Basically, buy now, pay later turns you into this impulse shopper. It says, I don't think I could swing it, but the fact that I could pay later, now I can swing it. Number 3, buy now, pay later increases the odds that stuff that's added to a shopping cart will actually get purchased instead of just getting abandoned there. They track this stuff. They know a lot. We all know that big data is big business, and the fact that they know exactly how much stuff is abandoned in shopping carts really helps them, because they can do this kind of measurement and say, if we do buy now, pay later, less of that stuff is abandoned. More people go ahead and click checkout and they say, let's go ahead and buy this stuff. They're making us spend more. Number 4, with buy now, pay later, people have more and bigger purchases. People are more likely to buy expensive things that they can't afford at the moment because they're enabled by buy now, pay later. Let's be Santa to ourselves and go ahead and buy that $1,500 TV. People are also more likely to do more frequent shopping when they have that added flexibility of, I'll pay this off sometime in the next month and a half. Number 5 is especially dubious. Initially, you'll be more happy with your purchase because of that 0 interest. Because instead of a credit card where you know that interest is looming over your head, a lot of these buy now, pay later options have 0% interest for a time. But let's think again logically about this. How much time are we really gaining? A credit card purchase is billed the next month anyway, so you probably have around 4 weeks between the time that you actually hit buy and you're accountable for paying for that stuff. So we're talking about adding another 1 or 2 weeks. Is that really gonna make a massive difference for you? Are you somehow getting a big lump of cash in like 6 weeks from today that'll help you to just pay for all the rest of the stuff you bought? I doubt it, but it just feels good. It feels good to procrastinate the purchase, to push it out there into the future. Number 6, repeat customers spend almost 67% more than first-time buyers. The fact is, whenever we grease up the slide and we make it easier and easier for us to buy more stuff, we're more likely to come back again and buy more stuff again. So this isn't just a one-time occurrence. This isn't just that one big TV purchase or that one shopping trip we make for our kids for Christmas or whatever the thing is. We're more likely to keep coming back and keep coming back. We like that feeling of ease. And part of what brings us back is that some of these buy now, pay later programs have rewards programs attached to it. So the retailer itself might have like points or coupons or something else associated with it that brings you back. But some of the actual companies that facilitate the buy now, pay later have rewards. Like you have something to gain by continually using them over other buy now, pay later formats. And whenever we keep coming back, we keep donating our hard-earned money to their swelling profits, to their thick, fat, gargantuan, ridiculous wallets. Crazy. And number 7 confirms what I said before and what I just thought, what I assumed based on the data for credit cards. Buy now, pay later is more popular with younger generations. What are we doing, guys? Listen to me, Millennials and Gen Z, let's stop this. Online versions of buy now, pay later are super convenient, plus young people on average just have less money than older people do. So we're more open to these services. We're more open to saying, there's really no other way that I know of to do this besides a credit card, and this seems better than a credit card. So I'll just go ahead and do this. Here's a statistic for you. Over 26% of millennials and almost 11% of Gen Z shoppers have already used buy now, pay later to finance their most recent online purchases, as compared to 7.5% of older generations. Guys, we're being suckers here. We're being suckered into spending more money. Or are we? I'm going to take a little bit of a different stance here because I think it's really easy and it's really satisfying to just be mad at somebody else or to point the finger at the big bad company and say, you're tricking us, you're creating such a convenient thing that we're being tricked into spending more money. I'm going to deviate from that and say we aren't being tricked by brilliant researchers and marketers. We're tricking ourselves. Even if these new options to be able to get the stuff you want or more stuff you want without having to pay for it immediately are intentionally and deceptively designed to make us spend more, we're still the ones who do the spending out of our own free will. We make the choice. We trick ourselves into thinking that waiting an extra week or two will make all the difference and take the stress out of the purchase. Then we largely ignore the fact that we open ourselves up to spending more and incurring more interest in the meantime. But that's not what we tell ourselves. Nah, that doesn't matter. I'm just going to pay it back on time. I'm not going to get any interest on this anyway. I'll just write those checks every 4 weeks. Maybe I'll wait. I'll pay them off in the last 2 weeks. I'm just going to pay it off. It won't cost me any extra. Of course we think that. Of course we assume it will all work out, or else we wouldn't do the thing in the first place. That's the story we're going to tell ourselves. We need to be more critical of our own self-talk here. Dig down a little bit deeper and figure out how we're going to pay this stuff back. Here's a rule for you. If you don't have a plan to pay, don't make the plan to purchase. Don't even go there. So what can we do instead? What's a better idea than just giving in to the likes of Affirm and Klarna and these other ones? Well, first of all, if you can, save up as much as possible and pay cash or use a debit card for as much as you possibly can. This is the obvious answer. This is the one that we probably can't or don't want to do, and that's why we're resorting to things like Affirm and Klarna and these Sezzle and these other ones. But it's obviously an option for us, and it will keep us from being in that trouble. Next, communicate with people who might be used to gift giving and see if you can take a break for a year. Your 11 adult brothers and sisters will be okay if you don't get them all new Bluetooth headphones and gift cards to that place they like to eat. Like, they'll be fine. You won't break the relationship, I promise. Next, we can make a plan. We can budget for the gifts that we need to give to people and make a list and say, so-and-so is getting this, it should be about this much money. Then whenever we're on Amazon or we're at Target or we're somewhere else and we're shopping, we can stick to the plan and go, nope, it's not on the list. They're not getting anything extra, even though that's really cute, or they really love Frozen or Roblox or whatever the thing is. We've had the plan. We're sticking to the plan. Next, we can read the fine print. Like if you're determined to use buy now, pay later for any reason, or if you're going to use something else similar along those lines, read all the fine print so that you know when you're going to be charged, what the repayment terms are exactly, and how bad the interest is going to hurt, just in case the plan doesn't work out. Like a lot of times plans go sour. In case it goes sour, how bad is that going to hurt? It's good to know that ahead of time so that you can plan appropriately. Finally, we can always spend time and not so much money. This is obviously cliche, and you can't just write everyone a coupon for a free hug and get away with it. But what if you made something that was more costly in terms of time and effort and not so costly in terms of money? Custom-made gift might not have the initial appeal and excitement of that new tech gadget, but if the person getting it actually understands the care and the effort and the time that went into it, it could end up being more meaningful in the long run. As an example, my mom makes everyone in our family a custom stocking. So she will get it like a pattern to start with, and then she'll cross-stitch this pattern that she's chosen because of things that you like, activities or toys, whatever that is, like when you're a kid. She picks this thing out for you, and then she customizes it for you painstakingly to make sure that every element of it reflects you and your hobbies and your desires and everything else, so that whenever we're done, everyone has their own super unique, super custom stocking. This kind of thing adds such a depth of care and understanding and effort, and it's something that a simple purchase can never really convey. So if you're watching this early enough and you have some creativity and some time on your hands, think about ways you can do that kind of thing. Overall, these kinds of repayment schemes don't stand to help us. They stand to make the companies more money. It's like a credit card. We think it's going to help us because it's going to help us kind of spread the money over the month, but it's not. The reason why companies want us to sign up for their credit cards is on average, they make a bunch of of money off of us. So it's the same thing here. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Use some of these strategies I've talked about. Take some of those statistics to heart because we become those statistics if we're not careful. It's up to you to not ruin Christmas or birthday or some other holiday because you end up being stressed about these purchases and you end up paying so much more than you already planned. Typically, we're already spending so much money in these times that we don't need to spend any more with interest. I don't need to get anybody else rich. I'm just going to try and keep my head down, buy the stuff I need to buy, and move on. So you've watched to the end of the video. And for funsies, I like to have a secret comment for those of us that have made it this far. Today, the secret comment word is reindeer, predictably. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something else about buy now, pay later, or the human psychology behind that and why it sucks for us, then include reindeer or make a comment about reindeer and their magical qualities. I'll keep an eye out for these because they are my favorite comments by far. If you'd like to know more about personal finance and investing, this is all I make videos about. So check out one of these 2 videos here because these are great and you'll like them. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.